Hi guys, it's Rachel from Desert Blossom Crafts. Today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet the Forget-Me-Not coasters. These coasters are pretty easy to make. They, as you can see, use two colors of yarn. They have a little cute flower in the center. If it looks tricky, don't be afraid. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it in this tutorial. So what you're going to need for these coasters is some DK weight yarn. I used Mary Maxim Mellow Spun. This is a really soft yarn. It's acrylic. It works really well for the coasters. I've had them on my headboard for a long time and they've never left a water stain at all, even with the lace. You can use other DK weights, you can even use a worsted weight, but your coasters will likely turn out a bit bigger around. These ones are a little over 4 inches in diameter. And then for a hook, you're just going to need a 5mm or H hook, or a hook that goes with the yarn you've chosen. Now, if you would like, you can easily purchase a ad-free PDF of this pattern. The written version on the blog, there's a link in the description for that. But you can also get an ad-free version for $3.50 on Etsy and Ravelry. This is just a little sample of it that I'm going to be working from today. It's pretty simple, just has all the rows written out for you. So if you want to print out this pattern, that might be a great option. So to get started, I'm going to make a slip knot and I'm going to chain 4. This coaster is worked in the round and there's just 5 rounds that we're going to do together in order to make it. So after I've chained 4, I'm going to make 10 double crochet in the 4th chain from my hook. So here are the 4 chains. I'm just going in that 4th one right there. There's my first double crochet and I'm just going to do 10 more in the same exact chain. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, still going in this space right here. And for joining, we're going to do a slip stitch in the first double crochet, not the chain 3. The chain 3 does not count as a stitch, and by joining in the double crochet right here, this basically makes it so that we don't have a hole. The chain 3 is still there, but it kind of covers up any hole we would have if we joined in the chain 3 instead, and so it just makes it look more circular. For round 2, I'm going to chain 1, this does not count as a stitch, and I'm going to single crochet in the next double crochet on the round. And next, I'm going to make one of the big petals in the coaster. So I show you this one. We're going to make one of these petals all in the same stitch right now. So I'm going to chain 1 again and double crochet in the same stitch, chain 1 and triple crochet in the same stitch. So we're gradually getting bigger and then we're going to get smaller again. There is my triple crochet, chain 1, double crochet again, and then chain 1 and single crochet in the same stitch. And that is our first petal right there. That is all done. And we're going to make these all the way around. But first we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch. And then we're going to start our petal in this next double crochet right here. So the same process is going to happen. Single crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, triple crochet, so this is 2 yarn overs, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and single crochet, and then single crochet in the next stitch, and then begin again in this next one. So that is the process I'm going to repeat around, and I will meet you back around when I have my 5 petals done with 5 single crochet in between. So here you can see my 5 petals going around, and I have 1 single crochet in between each, and that is the last thing I need to do for this round. I've finished my petal and I just have 1 last single crochet to do right here before I join with a slip stitch to the very first single crochet right here. And once I do that, I am ready to fasten off this first color. So I'm just going to tighten the slip stitch a little bit. Here's my flower. I'm just going to cut my yarn and pull this through. And that is all you need your first color for. So this is a great stash buster. It does not take much yarn. You can just make this little flower on the inside, and now we're ready to join our color B on one of the petals. So I have white for color B, and what I'm going to do is make a single crochet in one of these triple crochets on the petal. So I'm going to make a slip knot with my white, and now it doesn't matter which petal you choose. It's probably good to do one close to the knot so that the seam, it's not too noticeable of a seam, but it's still good that it can be kind of like in the same place, I guess. But it doesn't really matter, you can choose any petal. So I'm going to make a single crochet in this top triple crochet. So if you look at this, we have our single, our double, and our triple, and the top of this triple is right where we're going to do this. So I'm going to insert my hook, and you can see I already have this slip knot on my hook, and this is kind of called a standing stitch of a single crochet. So I'm not doing a slip stitch first, I'm just doing my single crochet directly in there. Next I'm going to chain 3, and now I'm going to make kind of like a little V stitch in between the petals. So every time we go in between the petals, we're going to go in the single crochet between them that we did on the last round. So you can see here I have the petal, this petal, and I have the single crochet here. And I'm going to start by doing a double crochet in that single crochet. So right here. So there is my double crochet. Next I'm going to chain 2 and do another double crochet in that same space. So I'm going right back in. There's my double crochet, so here's like my little V stitch. And I'm going to chain 3 and make another single crochet in the top of the next petal. So I'm going to look at this petal, look for the triple crochet right there, make a single crochet. There we go. And this is the pattern I'm going to be repeating around this time. Chain 3, make a V stitch in between, and then chain 3 and single crochet. So I'll do it with you one more time. Double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet again in that center single crochet. Chain 3 and find that triple crochet there and single crochet into it. So once again, this is the pattern. You're just going to keep repeating it around, and I will meet you back when I get close to the end. So here I have almost finished round 3. I've done my last V stitch in between the petals, and my last thing to do is chain 3. And this time, instead of doing a single crochet here, I'm just going to slip stitch to this original single crochet that was here. And I'm just going to pull that slip stitch tight so it's not too noticeable. So there is round 3. For round 4, we're gonna do something kind of similar, but we're gonna do some different stitches in the V-stitch and in the single crochet. So to start, you're gonna chain 1 and single crochet in the same stitch as your slip stitch that you just did. Now I'm going to chain 3 and single crochet in that stitch one more time. So here we're making kind of like a little chain loop, I guess you'd say, and we're going to do that in each single crochet around. But before we do that again, now we're going to chain 1 and make a sort of shell in the top of the V-stitch. So to do this, I'm just going to make 2 double crochet in here. So you can see we're skipping this chain 3 space, we're going right in the chain 2 space of the V-stitch. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochet in this. So there's quite a few in this one. But this is a pretty standard shell type of stitch. So that's what that looks like. We have our shell on top of the V-stitch and our chain loop on top of the single crochet. And I'm really just going to keep repeating that. I'm going to chain 1, and now I'm going to do my chain loop in this single crochet. So I'm skipping all of this and single crocheting in the single crochet, chaining 3, and single crocheting back in the same single crochet. And now we're going to chain 1 again and make our shell in this V-stitch. Two double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. Alright, so here's what it should look like. You can see that next row is just starting to form around. Alrighty, so here I am at the end of round 4. I've made my last shell, and the only thing left to do is chain 1 and join with a slip stitch to this very first single crochet we did. So I'm going to go in the top and then join and pull that slip stitch tight. So we only have 1 round left, and it's going to be pretty simple. We're just going to be doing single crochets around all the way to give it a nice even edging. So to start, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet in the same stitch we just did our slip stitch in. And we're just going to start doing a series of single crochet. We're going to do 1 in this chain 3 space, 1 in the next single crochet right here, and then we're going to do 2 in the chain 1 space. So a rule of thumb for this round is any chain 1 space on either side of the shell is going to have 2 single crochet. Everything else is going to have just 1. And I found that this gave it a nice rounded edging. So now I'm going to do 1 in each double crochet, 1 in the chain 2 space, just 1, 1 in the next 2 double crochet of the shell, and 2 in this chain 1 space. So here you can see the single crochet starting to make that nice round edging that I have on the finished one. And I'm just going to keep repeating this. Single crochet in the single crochet, in the chain 3 space, in the next single crochet. Now here's our chain 1 space, so we're going to do 2 in that one. 1, 2, in the double crochet, double crochet, 1 in the top of the shell. I know it can seem intuitive to do 2 in the top of the shell, but if you do 2 here, it will make the edges more pointed rather than being round. So just do 1 and then go into the double crochets, 2 once again in this chain 1, and just keep repeating this. So as I work around, just want to give you a tip about finishing these coasters. As you can see, they can get a little bit like rumpled, I guess. The finished ones over here are much more smooth and flat. And what I really recommend doing after you finish this last round is blocking them. And if you're using acrylic yarn like me, you can't wet block it, but you can steam block it. And steam blocking just does wonders for these coasters. It keeps them flat and it makes them usable for a really long time. So that's what I recommend doing. If you're unfamiliar with that, I will go ahead and put a link in the description box from my blog article about that. But that's one way that these can just look extra pretty and extra professional and finished like that. Okay, so right now I'm in a chain 1 space. I just did 2, and if I scoot this back, you can see this is all the nice round edging, and this is all that I have left. So I'm just going to finish this up with you guys. Don't forget you have this last chain space right here that you just want to do 2 extra little single crochet into. And once you do that, you just have to slip stitch to your first stitch. And I wouldn't tighten this because the slip stitch, if you tighten it, it'll be really noticeable. So just kind of leave it as it is, and then we will cut our yarn and tie it off. And the only thing left to do is weave in your ends. Make sure and weave them in, the white ones in on the white and the blue ones in on the blue, and then block it as I said before, and you have a beautiful forget-me-not coaster to use. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. I had so much fun designing this pattern. If you liked the tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I have lots more crochet patterns and stitch tutorials on the YouTube channel and also on my blog. If you want the pattern written out, be sure to check out the links in the description. And yeah, I hope to see you guys around the channel more.